The dopamine trap that keeps you weak and distracted your brain is under attack, and most people don't even realize it. Every scroll, every notification, every short video is triggering the same reward system once used to keep humans alive. But now, that system is being manipulated by algorithms designed to keep you distracted, impulsive, and addicted to stimulation. The terrifying part: the weaker your attention span becomes, the easier you are to control. Neuroscientists are now warning that constant dopamine overstimulation may be rewiring the human brain, destroying focus, motivation, discipline, and even the ability to feel satisfied with normal life. And while millions blame themselves for feeling lazy, anxious, and mentally exhausted, few realize they may be trapped inside the most sophisticated attention hijacking system ever created. For most of human history, distraction was a survival risk. If your ancestors lost focus while hunting, exploring, or sensing danger, they died. Attention was once one of the most valuable biological tools humans possessed. Now it's being sold to the highest bidder. Every major tech platform on Earth is competing for one thing: your dopamine. And according to former engineers, behavioral psychologists, and neuroscientists, this competition has created systems designed to exploit ancient reward circuitry inside the human brain with frightening precision. Because dopamine is not simply the pleasure chemical people think it is. Scientists now understand dopamine more accurately as a motivational neurotransmitter tied to anticipation, reward prediction, and behavioral reinforcement. In simple terms, dopamine pushes you to seek. That system once helped humans survive difficult environments. It rewarded exploration, learning, achievement, reproduction, and goal pursuit. But modern technology discovered something dangerous. The brain can be manipulated through artificial reward loops, social media platforms, short-form video apps, gambling systems, junk food companies, and even parts of the entertainment industry all rely on the same psychological principle: variable rewards. Unpredictable stimulation keeps the brain engaged longer than predictable outcomes. It's the same mechanism that makes slot machines addictive. You scroll because the next post might be exciting. You refresh because the next notification might matter. You keep watching because the next video might deliver another emotional spike. And every time uncertainty meets reward, dopamine surges. Over time, the brain begins adapting to constant stimulation. Researchers studying attention and behavioral addiction have found that repeated exposure to highly stimulating digital environments may reduce tolerance for slower, less immediately rewarding activities. That's why deep focus feels harder now. Books feel slower, silence feels uncomfortable, studying feels painful. Real-world progress feels exhausting compared to instant digital gratification. The modern brain is becoming conditioned for consumption instead of creation. And this is where the trap becomes dangerous, because dopamine itself is not the enemy. The problem is overstimulation without recovery. Your brain evolved in environments where reward spikes were relatively rare. A successful hunt, social bonding, discovery, achievement. Now the average person experiences hundreds of micro-stimulations every day. Notifications, messages, videos, ads, music, pornography, gaming, sugar, endless scrolling. The nervous system never truly rests. Some neuroscientists believe this constant overstimulation may contribute to rising levels of anxiety, compulsive behavior, emotional dysregulation, and motivational instability, especially in younger generations raised entirely in algorithmic environments. And the terrifying part is, most people mistake overstimulation for normal life. They don't realize their attention span is shrinking until they can no longer sit with their own thoughts. This is why many high performers started becoming obsessed with protecting focus. Not because focus improves productivity, because focus protects autonomy. In a world fighting for your attention, the ability to control your own mind becomes a form of power. This is why practices like meditation, journaling, fasting, exercise, sleep optimization, and long periods away from screens began exploding across biohacking and self-improvement communities. These habits reduce compulsive stimulation and help recalibrate reward pathways in the brain. Some people call it a dopamine detox, though many neuroscientists argue that term is scientifically inaccurate because dopamine itself cannot literally be detoxed. But the principle behind it matters. Reduce artificial overstimulation, restore sensitivity to meaningful rewards, rebuild attention gradually, and the effects can be dramatic. People often report clearer thinking, stronger motivation, deeper focus, improved emotional regulation, and increased satisfaction from ordinary life after reducing compulsive digital stimulation. Because when the brain stops chasing constant novelty, it starts noticing reality again. But there's another reason this issue has become so serious: artificial intelligence. Modern algorithms are no longer passive tools. They are adaptive systems learning human behavior in real time. Every click teaches them something. Every pause reveals emotional interest. Every second of attention becomes data. AI systems now understand human impulses so well that they can predict what will keep users emotionally engaged before users consciously realize it themselves. And once technology learns how to predict attention, line between entertainment and behavioral control becomes dangerously thin. That's when the dopamine economy stopped being just a business model and started becoming a war for the human mind. The most disturbing part of the dopamine trap is that it rarely feels dangerous while it's happening. That's how addiction works. Not always through destruction, through slow behavioral conditioning. A few minutes of scrolling becomes hours. Quick entertainment becomes chronic distraction. Constant stimulation becomes emotional dependence. And eventually, many people reach a point where they can no longer tolerate ordinary reality without digital input. Silence feels empty. Stillness feels uncomfortable. Deep work feels impossible. The brain becomes trained to expect stimulation every few seconds. And according to neuroscientists studying reward circuitry, this constant cycle can weaken the ability to pursue long-term goals that require patience, discomfort, and delayed gratification. That matters because nearly everything meaningful in human life depends on delayed rewards. Building strength, learning skills, creating wealth, fostering focus, developing relationships. None of these produce instant dopamine spikes. They require consistency before reward. But the modern digital environment conditions people for the opposite: immediate stimulation without effort. And this may explain why so many people today feel mentally exhausted despite consuming more entertainment than any generation in history. Because overstimulation is not the same as fulfillment. The brain was never designed to process infinite novelty every waking hour. This is why many biohackers, neuroscientists, and performance experts now treat attention like a biological resource that must be protected. Not just for productivity, for survival. Some people are beginning to realize that the future may belong to those who can resist algorithmic manipulation long enough to think independently. Because while most people are drowning in distraction, a small percentage are reclaiming their focus and gaining a massive cognitive advantage because of it. This is where the conversation shifts from dopamine to control. Who controls your attention controls your behavior. And who controls behavior eventually shapes identity itself. That's why modern AI-driven platforms are so powerful. They do not merely entertain users, they study them. Every emotion becomes data. Every weakness becomes measurable. Every impulse becomes predictable. And the more predictive these systems become, the easier it becomes to engineer human behavior at scale. This is no longer just about social media addiction. It's about the future relationship between human consciousness and intelligent machines designed to compete for attention more effectively than humans can resist. But here's the hopeful part. The brain remains adaptable. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself through repeated behavior, means attention can be rebuilt, focus can return, discipline can strengthen, motivation can recover. But only if people consciously interrupt the cycle, reduce stimulation, protect sleep, train attention, equate more than you consume. Spend time away from algorithms long enough to hear your own thoughts again. Because the people who master their attention in the coming years may become psychologically stronger than almost everyone around them. And in a world engineered to keep humans distracted, that might become a superpower. If this video made you realize how much of your attention is being controlled, share your thoughts below. What's the hardest distraction for you to escape right now? And if you want more dark, science-backed stories about biohacking, AI, psychology, and the hidden systems shaping human behavior, like this video, subscribe and turn on notifications, because the next battle for humanity may not happen in the streets, but inside the mind.